Good evening, everybody. From Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, we bid you welcome to Reds baseball. The Reds and Joe Torre's New York Mets, they get together tonight to kick off a brief two-game series. A couple of right-handers will be dueling at the outset. Frank Pastore looking for his fourth win. Ray Barris 2-2 for the New York Mets. We'll be back to take a look at the starting lineups in just a moment. If you're ready now, the starting lineups tonight for the New York Mets. Leading off in center field, Joel Youngblood. Batting second, shortstop Frank Taveras. Hitting third at first base, Lee Mazzilli. Batting fourth in right field, Mike Jorgensen. We'll continue with the lineups, but right now, our national anthem. Continuing with the batting orders, hitting number 5 for New York, the catcher John Stearns. Batting 6 in left field, Steve Henderson. Elliot Maddox will play third base and bat number 7. Hitting 8th at second base, Doug Flynn. And batting 9th and pitching for New York, right-hander Ray Barris. Again for the Mets, it's Youngblood in center field, Taveras at shortstop, Mazzilli at first base. Jorgensen in right field, Stearns catching, Henderson in left. With Maddox at third, Flynn at second, and Barris pitching. For Cincinnati, to lead it off in center field, Dave Collins. Batting second in right field, Ken Griffey. Hitting third at shortstop, Dave Concepcion. Batting fourth in left field, George Foster. Hitting number 5, the first baseman, Dan Dreesen. Batting sixth and catching, Johnny Bench. Ray Knight will bat 7th and play third base. Hitting 8th at second base, Junior Kennedy. And batting 9th, the Reds pitcher, right-hander Frank Pastore. Once more for the Reds, it's Collins in center field, Griffey in right field, Concepcion at shortstop. Foster in left field, Dreesen at first base, Bench catching. With Knight at third, Kennedy at second, and Pastore on the mound. This game is underway. Youngblood batting a fine .301 with 3 home runs and 18 RBIs. Right-handed batter, the 1-0 pitch is taken outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Indeed, Frank did come within 1 out. Working 8 2/3 innings in New York, John Stearns came off the bench with that pinch hit 9th inning single that tied the game up last Wednesday night at 2-2. He 2-0s to the plate. Youngblood takes it downstairs, ball 3. Well, Frank is 3-1 with a .225 ERA. Has completed 3 of the 6 starts that he's made. Given up only 32 hits in 44 1/3 innings with 27 strikeouts and 8 walks. That pitch is ball 4, and he has issued a walk to the first man in the ball game on 4 straight pitches. So Joel Youngblood takes his base, and that'll bring to the plate shortstop Frank Taveras. Well, we don't need to tell you how tough the Mets played us in New York. 3 straight extra inning games. New York won the first game 3-2. Reds won 12-10 in 14 innings, and then 3-2 in 12. It was that kind of series. Frank Taveras, the shortstop, he checks in at 2:06, has driven in 2 runs, and Youngblood will draw a throw at first base. The Reds are 19-11 in a virtual tie with Houston for first place in the West. The Mets have won 9 and lost 17. They're in the basement of the East. Pitch to Taveras, a bunt first base side, running after it. Nobody will get that one. Ball rolling between first and second. Youngblood will go to third base. A bunt single for Frank Taveras, and nobody was there as the ball got by Frank Pastore. A big, wide open gap between first and second, and Youngblood moves all the way to third on the bunt single.
Well, Marty, that's just not heads-up baseball. It's the only way you can put it. Taveras, nothing tricky about his bunt. He showed that he was going to bunt, and Pastore couldn't get off the mound, but really it's not his ball. Danny should be there to field the ball, but winds up first and third, nobody out. Tricky bunt.
Boy, I'll tell you. Here's first baseman Lee Mazzilli. Lee batting at .253 has driven in 4 runs. Ray Barris still throwing in the New York bullpen. He'll be their starting pitcher tonight. Right now, the Mets are trying to score some runs. Here's a pitch to Mazzilli, and he bounces one to the right side. That's going to get a run in. Kennedy almost slipped down, but rights himself. Throws out Mazzilli as Youngblood scores, and moving to second, Frank Taveras. 1 out as Mazzilli picks up his 5th run batted in. Here's a cleanup batter, right fielder Mike Jorgensen, another left-handed batter. Jorgensen carries a batting average of .261. He's homered once and has knocked in 5 runs. So the bunt single by Taveras pays off almost instantaneously for the Mets, with Youngblood going to third and scoring on the ground out. Pitches low for a ball to Jorgensen. In the inner defense for Cincinnati, Dreesen, Kennedy, Concepcion, and Knight at first, second, short, and third. Foster in left, Collins in center, Griffey in right, and Bench catching. 1 out, a run in, runner at second base as Jorgensen takes it high. 2 balls and no strikes. While the Reds and the Mets battle it out here at Riverfront, the Astros and the Expos will be doing the same thing down in the Dome tonight. Probables in the first game of that series. David Palmer against Nolan Ryan. Jorgensen rips one foul down the right field line and into the seats. 2 balls and a strike. Reds had a 4-game winning streak snapped and dropping a 7-3 Sunday afternoon decision here to the Philadelphia Phillies. That game allowed the Phils to salvage 1 of the 3. And the Reds and the Astros really having at it for supremacy in the Western Division. Pastore checks Taveras, pitches low and inside, ball 3. And the Dodgers, only Western Division club in action last night, got fine pitching from Don Sutton and Bobby Castillo to defeat the Chicago Cubs 2-1. So L.A. but a game and a half back. Pastore needs a strike against Jorgensen. Here's a fly ball hit well back into right center field. Griffey cannot get it. Ball bounces one time, hits the fence. Taveras will score. Jorgensen at second, a double, and New York leading 2-0. Two-base hit to deep right center for Mike Jorgensen, as the Mets have now tallied twice in the inning, and the hitter will be catcher John Stearns. We may get some activity underway in the Cincinnati bullpen. Bill Fisher talking with backup catcher Don Werner, and now we note Paul Mosco walking down toward the far end of the dugout and now making his way into the Cincinnati bullpen as Johnny Bench and Ray Knight talk with Pastore on the mound.
Well, Marty, this doesn't look like Frank is throwing good right now, and hopefully he can weather the storm here and get out of this inning with no further damage and be all right. But right now, it just doesn't look like he has that good zip on his fastball.
John Stearns, hitting .313, has knocked in 9 runs. Pitch to the plate, taken low and outside. Ball 1 as Mosco now has started up and throwing. On deck, left fielder Steve Henderson. Pastore with a pause at the belt. Check of second, the pitch on the inside corner for a call strike. Nick Colosi, the plate umpire. Jerry Crawford at first. Doug Harvey at second. Andy Olson at third. Youngblood opened the game with a walk, moved all the way to third when Frank Taveras bunted safely, and scored when Mazzilli grounded out, and now Jorgensen has doubled in Taveras. Swing and a bouncer foul off third. And the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, Frank has been so splendid this season. He's had only really the one bad outing, and that was the game down in Houston when the Astros jumped on him early and went on to win behind Nolan Ryan and Dave Smith 8-0. Fly ball hit back into right field. Ken Griffey drifting back, pounds the glove, makes the catch. Going to third base after the catch is Jorgensen. There are 2 men out. This copyrighted broadcast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by Cincinnati Reds Incorporated solely for the entertainment of our listening audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the descriptions and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Cincinnati Reds Incorporated is prohibited. The announcers on this broadcast are employed by the Cincinnati Reds Incorporated. 2 away, runner at third. Steve Henderson batting .313, the plate. Henderson, no homers, 7 RBIs, 3 for 12 against Reds pitching in the 3-game set at Shea. Takes the ball high. Mets have had a couple of hits, a walk, 2 runs are home, 2 men are out. They give Henderson, a right-handed batter, the left field foul line. Foster pulled toward the alley and left center for him. Up and in, 2 balls and no strikes. Leading at third base, Mike Jorgensen. 2-0 delivery. Henderson swings and hits it to right field. Running toward the foul line, Griffey. Will he have a play? He will. Did he make the catch? He did. Foul territory. Ken Griffey going into the corner, and that's all for Henderson and the Mets. But they got 2 runs on 2 hits. 1 man left on. And after a half inning of play, it's the Mets 2 and the Reds are coming up. Ray Barris 2-2, but boy, has he pitched well. 219 earned run average. He was victimized by some shaky defense. Up in New York when he was matched with Pastore last Wednesday night. Of course, the weather conditions were far less than desirable, and, well, the Reds got 2 runs on 3 hits in 7 innings off Burris. Both runs were unearned. He struck out 5 and walked 6, 2 intentionally, and he's pretty much been pitching that way all season long. Dave Collins leading it off. The newlywed in center field tonight for the first time in a long while takes a pitch high and tight for a ball. Well, we really enjoyed the wedding ceremony last night for Dave Collins and his wife Kim, and also a fine reception. Here's a swing and a foul back. One ball and 1 strike on Collins, batting .301 with 5 RBIs. Some kind of entertainer at Dave's reception. Joe Savage, outstanding. Boy, he could do it.
Really good show.
I'm telling you. 1-1 pitch is high and inside, 2-1.
And we got to catch a little old Bobby Borchers act
Yes,
there.
sir. Over Dr.
She's
Potts.
over there stomping your foot a little bit there.
Oh, man, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Enjoyed it. 2-1 pitch. Swung on, line drive, right field. Caught as Jorgensen goes to both knees. He picked off the sinking line drive. Well, Davey hit the ball hard, but it hung up long enough for Jorgensen to get there. And with 1 down, here's Ken Griffey. Kenny batting .317. He's homered once. He's knocked in 11 runs. Had some kind of series in New York, going 7 for 14 with an RBI. Burris and the Mets leading 2-0 as the Reds bat 1 out deep in the first inning. Pitch on the inside edge for a strike. Line in the pitch, way inside and low. 1 ball and 1 strike on Griffey with Dave Concepcion on deck. Go at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. Charlie Lee Brandt will hook up with Craig Swan in another business day special here at the stadium. That's over for a call strike. Burris out in front of Griffey 1-2. Then we'll have the Sandlot exhibition game up in Detroit. It'll be aired over most of the same Reds Baseball Network stations. 7 o'clock game time from Tiger Stadium on Thursday night. Burris kicks and throws. Griffey swings, pops it up left side. Third baseman Maddox going to foul ground, waving off Stearns, and makes a catch. 2 down. Dave Concepcion comes to the plate with 2 out. Here's the way the Mets look defensively. Mazzilli at first, Flynn at second. Taveras a shortstop. Maddox, who just caught Griffey's foul pop at third base, and left Henderson in center. Youngblood and right Jorgensen, and Stearns catching. 2 away. Dave Concepcion, a .200 batter. He's homered twice and has driven across 12 runs. Davey shortens up as if to bunt and takes a curveball for a strike. Oh, 1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Way out in front of a slow breaking ball. Burris completely fooling Concepcion with that one, and the count goes to 2 strikes. Missing outside. That ball banging in and out of the glove of John Stearns. 1-2. After Thursday night's exhibition game in Detroit, we'll be on our way to a 6-game road trip, 3 in Montreal, 3 straight day games, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Olympic Stadium, and then 3 night games, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week in Philadelphia. Just missing with the ball, 2-2. George Foster on deck with 2 out as Burris throws a break-even pitch, and Concepcion grounds it foul toward the Mets dugout, third base side. Former Chicago Cub Burris goes to the rosin bag. Outfield playing Concepcion straight away. 2-2 on the way again. Swung on and fouled down the right field line. Count holding on Dave Concepcion. 2 balls and 2 strikes. High and inside, ball 3. So Burris running it out on Dave Concepcion. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Collins is lined to right. Griffey has popped up foul to third. And the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and grounded foul. Third base side again. Reds have played well here at home, winning 11 out of the 17 games played here at Riverfront Stadium. And also show a winning record on the road of 8 wins and 5 losses. Burris looks to Stearns and throws to Concepcion. That's ball 4, and Davey draws a 2-out walk. Now this bud's for everyone out there who really put in a long, tough day today. Now it's time to put down an ice-cold Budweiser. Here's George Foster with 2 out, returning, as we said, to the lineup for the first time since the 29th of April. In the opening game of that 3-game series here against Houston, George batted in the first inning and then had to retire when he strained his left side. He missed 12 games, not counting that particular game. And of the 12 that he saw no action in at all, the Reds won 6 and lost 6. Hitting .270 as he waits on Ray Burris with Concepcion running, and the pitch is inside. Stearns is throw down to second, not in time. Concepcion on the move on the first pitch to George Foster and picks up his 2nd stolen base of the season. That's a 29th steal in 32 attempts for the Reds. Want to know on Foster. Joe talking about the job that those guys did coming off the bench. You lose a man who provides so much offense to your club, and you're able to split 12 down the middle as the Reds did. Done a heck of a job. So Davey in scoring position with 2 out. Foster trying to get him home. And the off-speed pitch is low and away, and the count goes to 2-0. Foster has homered 4 times and has knocked in 11 runs. Tying his shoelace, now straightens up and slowly settles back into the batter's box. Mets are leading 2-0. Foster now backs away again. Hit will get a Cincinnati run home. Foster leveling the bat. Burris straightens up and pours it home. That's outside and low, ball 3. 3-0. Well, let's see if they'll turn Foster loose should the pitch be hittable. Danny Dreesen may well be coming up there with some folks on base with 2 men out. 3-0 to the plate. That's ball 4. Ray Burris working very carefully to Mr. Foster, ends up walking him on 4 pitches, and now Rube Walker, the Mets pitching coach, crossing the third base foul line on his way to the mound as Burris has issued back-to-back walks with 2 out. Dreesen trying to do damage and put something on the board here for Cincinnati. Runners take their leads at first and second. Here comes a pitch. Dreesen takes it low and inside, ball 1. Burris at times is prone to walking people, having walked 16 in 37 innings coming into this start tonight, and already issuing 2 bases on balls in the first inning in this game. Left-handed batting Reds first baseman swings and lines one into center field. That's a base hit. Dave Concepcion heading toward the plate. Youngblood throw cut off by Mazzilli. Dreesen stinging Ray Burris with a 2-out run producing single, and it's 2-1. 17th RBI for Danny Dreesen as the inning continues for Johnny Bench. Ray Burris certainly appeared headed toward an easy first inning as he retired 2 pretty good hitters in a row in Collins and Griffey. But 2 walks and a single, and it's a 1-run game. Foster moving to second base on the single. Here's a pitch to Bench, and John takes it low for a ball.
I think we go back to the game in New York. Burris did walk 6 in that particular game.
That he did. There's 1-0 to the plate. Bench swings and he misses. John batting .217 with 1 home run and 5 RBIs. And of late has really been struggling at the plate. Now the Mets might get somebody up and throwing in their bullpen. Looks like left-hander Kevin Coble is going to go down and start loosening up, along with Pete Falcone. 1-1 pitch, swung on, ground ball to third. Elliot Maddox makes the play, runs to third for the force out that ends the inning. Cincinnati gets 1 run on 1 hit, leaves a pair, and at the end of 1 complete, it's the Mets 2 and the Reds 1. Kennedy drew the 1-out walk, moved to second on the Pastore bunt, and advances to third on Collins' infield hit off Mazzilli's glove, and Dave Collins promptly steals second. Now Burris from the windup with a 1-1. Strike 2 call. Letter high on the inside part of the plate. Griffey hit some real rocket shots at Shea Stadium. He was 7 for 14 in the 3-game series. That's when he really started to come around at the plate. Burris trying to pitch himself out of second inning difficulties. Rocks, kicks, and fires. Inside, 2-2. So Kennedy at third, Collins at second. Griffey in the pitch. That's up and in, ball 3. And for the second time, the Mets bullpen will start to get busy once again. Say for the second time, they were on their way out there when Johnny Bench hit into the force out that ended the first inning. They really didn't get a chance to get up and throw, but now they're heading back down that way again with 2 out. And a 3-2 count on Ken Griffey. John Pasella, a right-hander, and left-hander Kevin Coble start to throw. Here's a 3-2 pitch. That's low, ball 4. And the Reds have loaded the bases with 2 out. Well, 4 walks inside of 2 innings. And the table is set for Dave Concepcion. Don't forget Family Night at Riverfront. It's something new. And it's coming up Monday, June 9th when the Reds meet the Padres. Reds baseball is always a great buy, and the value is even greater, and families can get big savings on Family Night. 3 on, 2 out. Down a run we are. Pitch to Concepcion, taken for a strike. Davey had a walk, a stolen base, and a run scored his first go-round. Well, Barris, who pitched very effectively with men aboard against him last Wednesday night in New York, forced to do it again here in Cincinnati. Davey swings and pops it up. Let's see if there's a play for Mazzilli as he runs toward the dugout. Nope. 0-2 as it falls foul and out of play. Burris, who's really been busy on that rosin bag tonight, goes that way once again as Pasella and Coble continue to throw. Davey in a 2-strike hole. And here's a pitch. Oh, he hit him. Pitch hits him. 0-2 pitch gets away from Ray Barris. Dave Concepcion hit with the bases loaded. That forces in the tying run. Junior Kennedy is home, and it's a 2-2 game. And again, Rube Walker heading toward the mound. He'll be joined there by John Stearns. George Foster, who had a 4-pitch walk in the first inning. Out to see what he can do about breaking the tie. Foster with 7 career grand slams. Johnny Bench, of course, the club record holder with a total of 9. And the bases are loaded for the big man here in the second. Ball 1 is outside. Outfield deep and around toward left. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and drilled down the left field line. Base hit. Ball goes into the corner. Collins scores. Griffey scores. Here comes a play at the plate on Concepcion. He's out. Davey trying to score from first base is cut down. But a 2-run single for George Foster, and in the inning for the Reds, 3 runs on 2 base hits, no errors and 1 left, and at the end of 2 complete, it's the Reds 4 and the Mets 2.
Bases are loaded, 1 out. Coble, the pitch. Swung on and hit by Mazzilli into right field. That scores 1. Here comes Griffey. He'll score easily, and look out, Davey is picked off at second base. Well, oh well. Davey having a bad night on the base pass. He ran through a stop sign in the second inning, and now he gets picked off at second as they throw behind him, and Frank Taveras taking the throw from Mike Jorgensen. Davey rounding the bag and had no way at all to get back. But a big base hit by Danny Dreesen to drive in 2 more, and it's now a 6-2 ball game. So Concepcion out 9-6, the second out of the inning. Here's Johnny Bench to throw over to first. Dreesen steps back. So Danny now with 3 RBIs in the game. He hit a rope by Mazzilli. Bench takes a strike from Coble. Those 2 runs charged to Vasella. Coble works. Bench swings. Ground ball. Taveras at short has it. Flips to Doug Flynn, the force of Dreesen, and that's the inning. But the Reds pick up 2 more runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 1 runner left on base, and at the end of 4, it's the Reds 6, the Mets 2.
Donnie Warner with the catching tools down in the dugout. John McNamara might be contemplating or planning on making some changes at other spots around the diamond besides a pitching position. Foster holding back on the pitch away, 1-1. Hey, boy. Davey short lead at first. Foster way out in front. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bomback with a pause and the pitch. Check swing up and in, 2-2. I'm sure Joe Torre would like for Bomback to be able to complete the inning. He is scheduled to hit third in the 6th. That's ball 3 high. He's got Ed Glenn down there in the bullpen. In the event that Foster should get on and we see a pitching change, it could come right after Foster finishes batting. With Danny Dreesen coming up. 3-2 the count. Pitch. Ball 4 high inside. Foster gets a walk, his 2nd of the night. Joe Torre bounces out of the dugout. That's going to be it for Mark Bomback. They brought on Kevin Coble to face Dreesen in the 4th inning. With the bases loaded, and Danny singled in 2 runs with a base hit to right. Now they bring on another left-hander. The next time Dreesen steps up, and it's Ed Glenn with Concepcion at second and Foster at first. Glenn straddles, now steps back onto the pitching rubber. And his first pitch to Danny Dreesen is swung on and hit into center field. Joel Youngblood going back, still on the move, and on the warning track, he makes the catch. Tagging and advancing to third base is Dave Concepcion, as Dreesen really put a charge into that ball, and I don't even think Youngblood thought the ball was going to go as far as it did. He kept drifting, and finally hauled it in on the warning track for the 2nd out. Now we get the word from publicity director Jim Ferguson. Frank Pastore leaving the game tonight because of stiffness in his lower back. Johnny Bench, the 9th man to hit in what has so far been a 4-run inning. Also like to welcome the Mets executive vice president and general manager Frank Cashen here. Bench swings and he fouls at the feet of Stearns. Mentioned earlier, president of the Mets ball club, Fred Wilpon, and Frank Cashen also in attendance. Well, Davey tagging and moving to third on Dreesen's long belt, but Youngblood caught on the warning track in center field. Up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Glenn with a motion and the pitch. That's too low. Ball 2, 2-1. Nobody throwing now in a New York bullpen for one of the few times tonight. Bench takes it upstairs, ball 3. So the man who started it all off with his 4th home run of the season, Ray Knight, is on deck. Glenn needs a strike. Bench looking to get a base hit. The pitch. Foul back to the screen, and the count goes full at 3-2. Well, exchanging baseballs with the plate umpire, Nick Colosi. Lee Mazzilli will leave the bag at first. Foster will be running. Ready with a payoff pitch, and here it is. Ball 4, bases are loaded. First walk allowed by Ed Glenn. Ray Knight up for the second time. We'll pause for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network. Here's Ray Knight now with the bases loaded. 2 men out and 4 runs in for the Reds. Knight looks at it downstairs. Indianapolis out in front of Wichita at the end of 3 innings of play, 4-0. Indians getting 2 in the first and 2 more in the third. This has been a big, big 5th for Cincinnati, as Knight is now the 10th man to bat. 1-0 pitch. That's high. Ball 2. 2-0. Reds have hit 2 home runs in the inning. Knight had a solo shot. Ken Griffey had a later 3-run home run. 2 balls, no strikes, with Concepcion at third, Foster at second, Bench at first. Glenn kicks and fires. Knight swings. There it goes. Second home run of the inning. Ray Knight has hit his second home run of the inning, and this one comes with the bases loaded. Cincinnati leading at 14-4. Knight's second career grand slam, his second of the inning, and boy, the Reds are doing it all offensively tonight. Well, Ray Knight started off the inning with a solo home run, and now belts one at almost the same place. Left center field, it comes with the bases loaded. 8 runs are in. It's 14-4. Well, we're in the top half of the 9th inning. The Reds leading by 11 runs. Paul Mosco, who's been outstanding in 3 innings, giving up only 1 hit. We'll be facing Doug Flynn to lead it off. Then we'll get a pinch hitter for the pitcher, Hausman, and the leadoff batter, Joel Youngblood. Looks like Ron Hodges is in the on-deck circle. He'll bat for the pitcher. Flynn is 1 for 3, single to center in the second. Also got the Purdue University baseball team here tonight. Welcome them. There's ball 1. At the letters, call strike. They have completed 5.5 now down in Houston, and Montreal remains a run-up at 3-2. Swing and a miss. Ball and 2 strikes on Doug Flynn. Pop foul out of play, right side. Well, Pastore will win his 4th game of the year against 1 defeat, and Mosco will pick up his 2nd save. He deals a 1-2 again, and Flynn hits it in the air. Right field. Sam Mejias toward the foul line. Has it. 1 gone. Now Ronnie Hodges, left-handed batting catcher. native Virginian, batting .231. No homers and 3 RBIs. 2 of his 3 runs batted in have come against Cincinnati, and of course one of them was a game winner a week ago last night in the 10th inning in New York. Had a double. Scored Alex Trevino all the way from first base in a 3-2 New York win. Moscow to Hodges. Call strike. That's high for a ball. Moscow has given him only 1 hit. Strike 2 call at the knees. That was the 8th inning single by Stearns. Ball and 2 strikes on the waiting Hodges, and he struck him out swinging. Moscow with his 4th strikeout, and the Mets down to their final out as Youngblood heads toward the plate. Joel has walked and scored a run, reached on a fielder's choice, lined to second, and struck out on the 7th. Strike is called. Swung on and fouled away, and it's very quickly 2 strikes. And Paul trying to nail it down right here. Right-hander back behind the mound, rubbing up the baseball. This will be 4 straight good outings for Paul Moscow after a somewhat rocky start earlier. His 0-2 pitch is fouled away. Biggest offensive output of the year for the Reds. Twice they have scored in double figures this season, and both have come against New York. Beat them 12-10 last Tuesday night and got them 15-4 this Tuesday night. Fly ball, right center field. Mejias and Collins can't get it. Ball goes over the fence on a bounce, and that'll be a ground rule double for Joel Youngblood. Oh, a 2-out 9th inning double. Keeps it going for Frank Taveras. Frankie 3 for 4. Could have very easily had a 4th straight hit had it not been for a fine defensive play on his line drive, grabbed by Danny Dreesen in the 7th inning. Mets led at one point in this game, 2-0 after the first half inning of play. Taveras fouls it back upstairs. Going in upstairs, it goes right into our engineer Dick Moss's booth. Did you get that one? Well, it's up there somewhere. Got a souvenir. Climb the stairs and get it. Check of the runner at second. Pitch. A ball high, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 out. Taveras fouls it away. Game-winning RBI in this game would go to George Foster. His bases-loaded single in the 2nd inning drove in 2, broke a 2-2 tie, and the Reds have simply opened up the lead. Pitch. Strike 3 call, and this one belongs to the Reds. Here in the 9th inning for New York, no runs and a hit. They leave a runner, and, well, the Reds did it all tonight as they bang out 13 hits, 4 home runs, en route to a 15-4 win over the New York Mets. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, the night did not start off all that well for Cincinnati. Frank Pastore had trouble getting himself untracked, and as things turned out, he had to leave at the end of 5 innings because of stiffness in his lower back. The Mets jumped on him for 2 runs in the 1st inning. Youngblood got a walk. Frank Taveras bunted for a single. Mazzilli's ground out made it 1-0 New York, and Jorgensen's following double to right center scored Taveras 2-0 Mets. Reds scored in the bottom of the 1st inning off Ray Barris. Dave Concepcion drew a 2-out walk, stole second base, and after George Foster got a base on balls, Dan Dreesen banged a single to center to make it 2-1. 1. The Reds ran out in front to stay in the bottom of the second. With one down, Junior Kennedy got a walk. Frank Pastore's bunt moved him to second. He advanced to third on an infield single by Dave Collins, who then stole second. Ken Griffey got a base on balls to load him up. Dave Concepcion was hit by a pitch to force in the tying run, and George Foster wrapped a single to left field to break the tie and send the Reds out in front 4-2. Cincinnati added 2 more runs in the 4th inning on a 2-run single by Danny Dreesen, 6-2 Cincinnati. But then with 2 out in the 5th inning, the Mets put 4 straight hits together, singles by Taveras, Mazzilli, Jorgensen, and Stearns to score twice and make it 6-4. And that's the way it was going to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Ray Knight led off with a home run to left center field, 7-4. Junior Kennedy grounded out, but pinch hitter Rick Auerbach singled to center. Dave Collins got a base hit. Ken Griffey hit a 3-run home run to right center field, making it 10-4. Dave Concepcion then got a single. George Foster followed with a base on balls, and after Danny Dreesen flied out to deep center field, Johnny Bench drew a walk to load him up and bring Ray Knight to the plate for the 2nd time in the inning. Glenn kicks and fires. Knight swings. There it goes! Ray Knight has hit his 2nd home run of the inning, and this one comes with the bases loaded. Cincinnati leading at 14-4. Knight's 2nd career grand slam, his 2nd of the inning, and boy, the Reds are doing it all offensively tonight. That gave Ray Knight 5 RBIs in the inning, 1 short of the Major League record, and it was the first time that a player has hit 2 home runs in 1 inning in the Major League since July of 1978 when Montreal outfielder Andre Dawson did it. The Reds added their final run in the 6th inning on a solo home run by Dave Collins, his first long ball of the season. That came off right-hander Tom Hausman and was Collins' 4th consecutive base hit. He ended up 4 for 6 on the night. Paul Mosco took the mound after Frank Pastore went 5 and proceeded to pitch 4 innings of 2-hit shutout baseball that saw Paul strike out 5 and not walk a batter. Pastore got his 4th win in 5 decisions, and on the strength of some outstanding relief pitching, Mosco chalked up his 2nd save. It was a night for everybody. As I said, Collins had 4 hits, scored 4 times, drove in a run. Ken Griffey scored 3 times, hammered a 3-run home run. Dave Concepcion got an RBI, scored a couple of times. George Foster, in his return to the lineup, went 1 for 3, 2 RBIs. Danny Dreesen had 2 hits, knocked in 3 runs. Ray Knight, of course, the biggest night of all with 5 RBIs, and it was simply the kind of game that turns out to be a very relaxing evening for everybody involved if you're on the long end of the score. Cincinnati, all told, had 15 runs on 13 hits, no errors and 7 left. The Mets with 4 runs on 10 hits, committing 1 error. They also stranded 7. Ray Burris, he took the loss, and his record is now 2-3. The Reds could be in first place if Montreal can hold off Houston in the opening game of that series down in the Dome. Meanwhile, the Reds will be looking toward the 12:30 start tomorrow as Charlie Lee Brandt, 3-2 goes for the Reds. Craig Swan, 2-2, will be on the mound for the New York Mets. Plenty of seats available for this Business Day special and Senior Citizens Date. We'll be on the air with the pregame shows on most of these same stations beginning at 12 o'clock Cincinnati time. Again, the final score tonight in a game that took 2 hours and 47 minutes to play before a crowd of 31,949. The Reds 15 and the Mets 4.